Hello everyone, welcome to Game 3 in a best of 5 matchup between LiquidNazgul and MouzMaNa here on Lost Temple. This is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss Mirror match. LiquidNazgul spawning as the teal Protoss player over here at the 8 o'clock position. Meanwhile, MouzMaNa spawning over here at the 2 o'clock position as the yellow Protoss player. So this is going to be a cross spawn here on Lost Temple. Now, just because this is a cross spawn, I'm hoping that the game goes a little bit longer. Both of the players have been playing a very heavy rush strategy in games 1 and game 2, so we'll figure out if that trend is going to continue, or if both players are going to just try to wall up a little bit more, perhaps get some more sentries, wall in their base, and then perhaps get to some Colossus and get the robotics facility, perhaps even a warp gate for some Phoenix harassment or some Void Ray harassment. Pylons now down on both sides, no one really going for that early gateway yet, and now there's plenty of energy sitting on that Nexus, so that Nexus is either looking to produce some more probes, waiting for that 150 minerals, and now down comes that gateway. So both players pretty much opening with the same exact build, their probes, Peppy the probe moving out at exactly the same time. Gonna go ahead and activate that Xel'Naga watchtower just to gain a little bit more sight around that circle right there. So both trying to make sure that there's no probes coming across during that time. Gateway now up and running. I do in fact have gas coming in from MouzMaNa. So MouzMaNa opting to go for gas this time, while LiquidNazgul opting not to go for gas. So LiquidNazgul may be trying to go for the dual gateway strategy that we've seen earlier. Nope, take it back. Assimilator now being put down over here at this Vespian geyser. So it is not going. It should not be a dual gateway push. Gateway is now up and operational for MouzMaNa, and where is that second pylon? Pylon over here to this north side, perhaps to try to hide that cybernetics core if MouzMaNa is in fact trying to get it. Single Zealot being produced by Mana. Meanwhile, no Zealot being produced by Nazgul. Nazgul instead trying to use that chrono boost on those for those probes to try to get a better economic advantage. Taking a look at the economic advantage, 19 probes versus 18, so very close. Cybernetics core was in fact trying to be hidden off to that north side. Taking a look at LiquidNazgul's point of view, LiquidNazgul does in fact know that there is a cybernetics core, so we'll see if he does in fact go for. He's already had that cybernetics core as well, so not worrying too much about having to go for a dual gateway. Assimilator now down, so double gas for both players, as we have an additional pylon now being warped in, waiting for some sentries to be warped in, as the sentries are the key to the Protoss army in the Protoss Mirror match, especially on these tight choke points. LiquidNazgul already getting his sentry. Meanwhile, MouzMaNa opting for a stalker instead. That Zealot chasing that Peppy the probe with that energy, with that ion, well, I don't even know what his propulsion method is, but able to just outrun that poor Zealot. That Zealot is going to be running a marathon trying to chase down that one probe. Robotics facility now being put into play, and now we have a single stalker now moving out. Going to go ahead and make short work of Peppy the probe, as the probe is already down to 10 hit points. One more shot should do it. Will it be able to recharge those shields? No, not in time, and down it goes. Single sentry and a single Zealot, single sentry there, and a second gateway for LiquidNazgul. So perhaps this is where the things are going to change. Dual gateway, perhaps wanting to opt for a 4-gate, while MouzMaNa going for the Robo Bay. It really depends on whether or not LiquidNazgul produces a large amount of stalkers. There are in fact a couple sentries, and LiquidNazgul expanding fairly early. I don't know if I quite agree with that. Those 400 minerals could have been used in order to get some more gateways. Now going for that robotics facility, so his army may be a little bit weaker in terms of everything. Taking a look down over here, we have this warp gate research nearing completion. Single gateway down over here, second gateway now being produced, and warp gate research finally being pushed in by as well. MouzMaNa going now for that robotics base, so that robotics meaning that he's going to be going for Colossus. So those Colossus means that even if LiquidNazgul doesn't go stalkers, he will be able to continue to push this out and perhaps win this. Zealot chasing that stalker for nice use of force fields, forcing that stalker to take a little bit more damage than he really wanted to, as he was unable to pass through that brush. Zealots and Sentries now on that high ground, and now chrono boosting that Colossus. Not chrono boosting the research, however, on that robotics bay. I do not see any additional pylons being warped in, as MouzMaNa is pretty much already supply locked, and there he goes, getting that extended thermal lance range for those Colossus, upgrading the range from 6 to 9. Colossus still being, or was chrono boosted for a little while, perhaps going to save that chrono boost for the extended range instead, as I believe it takes 140 time normally, and with that chrono boost will be downgraded to only 120 time. So yeah, just getting that extended thermal lance range, getting a single Colossus, and we'll see how this is really going to work. Robotics Bay now producing Immortals, however, for LiquidNazgul, and these units are going to be trying to push up and getting a force field on there, so those sentries are going to be unable to really see what tech level that MouzMaNa is in. If a second robotics facility is being able to be warped in, yeah, that pylon was just a little bit late, so now that second robotics facility finally, or sorry, that second gateway up and running. LiquidNazgul does have an observer in the base of MouzMaNa, and he's got to be worried or a little concerned now, especially with that research range upgrade nearing completion on that robotics base, so that he has gone off to that north side. I believe he's seen that robotics bay. He sees it, and he sees that the research is done or nearly done. And now he's really got to mass up his army. He should not be producing probes at this stage, perhaps using that chrono boost in order to get the cooldown faster on all of these units. Now going for dual Robo Bay, so dual Robo Bay, perhaps for more Immortals. Those Immortals, as long as there's plenty of Zealots and additional units in front and are not taking damage from those Colossus, are a good counter, as they will be dealing 50 damage per round against that Colossus. But those Colossus now able to really just focus down a lot of those units, using that range upgrade very, very well, just moving those units continually and taking apart this army. Very nice micro coming in, and now LiquidNazgul taking heavy losses. I believe at some point he did in fact have the larger army, but after losing that many sentries and that many zealots, that was a poor showing. So now the zealot and sentry army gonna go ahead and move on out. We have 3 Immortals, 3 sentries, and a fair number of zealots joining in on this fight. More Immortals being brought into play as well, and we'll see how this is really gonna work. That Colossus, if that's able to get to that high ground, gonna go ahead and try to focus down that Colossus. One Colossus already taken down, but those zealots now coming in, and those Immortals getting overexposed there, trying to take down that Colossus. That Colossus able to dance to that high ground, and those sentries now dropping in force fields. So very nicely done. LiquidNazgul gonna lose this game, as those Colossus are just going to be able to walk in and then just finish off this fight. Army-wise, 1550 against 650, not very much left. Losses, 20 losses for LiquidNazgul compared to the 7 losses for Mouse. A single force field in position, but those Colossus able to just shoot over that with really no issue. Gonna try to take down all of those Zealots as they're being warped in as well, and that is going to be GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay here on Lost Temple. Stay tuned for Game 4 in this best of 5 matchup between LiquidNazgul and MouzMaNa. So yeah, that's continuing this action. Perhaps, well, yeah, Immortals just getting taken down. Not very much that can be done, and LiquidNazgul loses Game 3. Perhaps I called that just a little bit too early, but I think we all could have seen that art coming from a minute, 2 minutes out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.